What if your garden could do more than just look nice? What if it could help restore the soil, support wildlife, and even heal the ground that we're on? That's what regenerative gardening is all about. It's not just about maintaining the status quo. It's about giving back more than we take. Welcome to Growing with Professor Brown. Today, we're going to be talking about my 8 principles of regenerative gardening. I earned my master's degree in Regenerative Studies at the Lyle Center, one of the first programs in the country focused entirely on regeneration. When I was first hired at Mount Sac, I was teaching home gardening, but I wanted to bring what I'd learned at the Lyle Center into the classroom, something deeper than just planting and harvesting. So I started developing these 8 principles as a framework for my students. That eventually grew into a whole new course called Regenerative Gardening. These principles are simple enough for beginners, deep enough for lifelong growers, and rooted in science, ethics, and hope. Don't worry, there's no test at the end. Just ideas to plant in your mind. So here they are, the 8 principles of regenerative gardening. Principle number 1, let nature do the work. Regenerative gardening starts with a mindset shift. Let nature do the work. That means inviting pollinators, protecting beneficial insects, and letting your soil organisms handle what they're good at. But it only works if you recognize who's doing the work. I once had a student who released ladybugs in their garden, then sprayed the ladybug larvae a few weeks later because they thought they were pests. Nature will help you if you let her, and if you learn her language first. Principle number 2, use knowledge as power. You can't let nature do the work if you don't understand her. Regenerative gardeners don't aim to know everything, but we stay curious. An aphid-covered plant could be a crisis, or it could be a buffet for green lacewing larvae. In regenerative gardening, when we find a new creature, we assume it's a good guy, unless we know it's harmful. Every mistake is a learning moment. It's only a problem if you don't learn from it. Your best tool isn't a shovel, it's your brain. Principle number 3, build relationships. Plants don't grow alone, and neither do we. Regenerative gardening is just as much about relationships as it is about compost or mulch. In the garden, it's the relationships between people, between plants, and even between all of the critters that visit. Pollinators need flowers. Predators need prey. Plants support each other through root networks. The more connected your garden is, the more resilient it becomes. When you build relationships with your soil, your plants, and your neighbors, that's when things truly come to life. Principle number 4, produce no waste. In nature, there is no waste, just stuff waiting to be reused. Kitchen scraps, compost. Fallen leaves, mulch. That cracked terracotta pot, that's a drainage layer now. One of my students once repurposed an old bathtub into a planter, and you know what? It was beautiful. When we stop thinking like consumers and start thinking like ecosystems, waste disappears. Well, except zucchini. You'll probably still have too much zucchini. Principle number 5, use appropriate technology. Regeneration doesn't mean going off-grid with a spoon and a dream. It means using tools and technology that are right for the job and kind to the planet. Robin Wall Kimmerer says, "Don't use a shovel when a digging stick will do." And one of my teachers, Dave Lanham, used to say, "Think smarter, not harder." So whether it's a rain barrel, a hoe, or a compost tumbler, choose what fits the need and minimizes the harm. It's not just about using appropriate technology, it's about using technology appropriately. Principle number 6. Consider nature as the model. When in doubt, ask, what would nature do? Forests don't till. Meadows don't use synthetic fertilizers. Nature builds resilience through layers, diversity, and time. If you're trying to control every little thing in the garden, you might be working against nature instead of with it. So plant in layers, invite biodiversity. Let things get a little wild. Nature isn't messy, she's just smarter than we are. Principle 7. Keep your food slow and local. Food is power. Where it comes from, how it's grown, and who grows it, it all matters. Regenerative gardeners eat from their yards, their neighborhoods, and their local farms. You don't have to grow everything yourself, but you should know what you're supporting when you shop. If your tomato traveled 2,000 miles, it's probably tired. Mine traveled about 15 feet, still warm from the sun and still full of flavor. Principle number 8. Ask what you can give rather than what you can take. This is the heart of it. Regenerative gardening asks, how can I give back? To the soil, to the community, to future generations. It's not just about getting vegetables or flowers. It's about leaving the land better than you found it. Plant a native plant. Share your harvest. Rebuild the soil. Pass it on. In a world that's constantly asking, what can I get? Be the weirdo asking, what can I give? So those are the 8 principles that I utilize in my garden, in my life, and in my classroom. Now, starting next week, we're going to dig deeper into each one of these principles, starting off with our regenerative gardening principle number 1. Let nature do the work. So, if you're curious about compost and cover crops, or perhaps if you just want fewer weeds with less effort, stick around. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you'd like to see the next video. And if you have any friends that need a little more soil and a little less stress in their lives, share this video with them. I'll see you in the garden. I lied. There is a test. Please take out a number 2 pencil.